Welcome to All Hustle No Sleep TV. Thank you for watching. I just want to say that this video is only for the newcomers, the new beginners of tattooing. So say you just ordered this tattoo kit and this is what came with it. Right, this is what came with it. So I should start saying that these are needles, that's the tips. That didn't come with the tattoo machine, neither did these three top inks. These big ones. If you order a kit, you usually get these little small ones. I got a few of those. These are colored inks. But I should say now that you're gonna get these tips. These are metal. You're gonna get this ink cup holder, which is also metal or plastic. I don't even know what it is. Aluminum. Forget about these two. Leave them alone. Throw them away if you want. I don't really care. I use disposable tips. They are the most safest and most sterilized equipment that we have next to the needles themselves. I don't like the hassle that you have with these things, to clean them and everything. I clean the tips, I clean the grips. I hard boil them and then I steam them, hard pressure steam them. But this is all that you should come. You should get a pack of needles, shading, round shaders, magnums, and some liners, a few grips, tips, rubber bands, ink cups. That's it. That's what comes with it. Some needles, some tips, and of course the machines and the power supply. I got these rubber bands here so I could hold the needle in place. It doesn't bounce around too much. I keep that on there whenever I'm tattooing. I change them out with every tattoo. There's plenty of those rubber bands, so shouldn't be worried about it. These three little L wrenches are the most important to your machine, since they are the ones that are gonna help you tune up your machine and whatnot. And first things first, you have to make sure which one is your liner, your outliner, and your shader. And to figure that out, it's quite easy. Your shader is typically heavier due to the more power needed and everything that comes with shading. It's easy to figure it out also by looking at the two bars right here. The shading bar is always longer than the actual outlining bar. And by bar, I mean this little bar right here, this one, going along, is connected to the needle. That's going to be longer for the shader. The outliner is lighter, is lightweight, and the bar is smaller. So let's tune them up on your machine. With my liner, got it connected here, got it connected on here. Also, this bag is just for sterilization. Once you're tattooing, you don't want you don't want the cord touching the customer, So you gotta keep it all sterile. I bought these separately. I also got one for the machine. Bring them out later, different video or something. But yeah, I usually keep my liner at 8 to 9. You can hear that it's very quiet. It doesn't need much power. If it gets hot, that's when I turn it up a little bit more. Say the farthest I ever go is be like 10. That's all you need. You don't need more than that. To make sure your machine is good condition for running, this bar and the coil itself, the magnet coil, should be about a nickel apart. So that's for best quality. Also, the needle, once you stick it in, should be almost not visible. So as you can see, it's still a little visible, so I'll bring it down. That's perfect. I'd say like as visible as a piece of paper, you know. And when it goes down, when it touches down, the coil's down, it should be as thick as a nickel. That's perfect. For my shader, connect it up. I usually keep it around 7 to 8. I'm gonna connect up the needles. On my outliner, this is a 3. I go from a 3 to a 5 most of the time, most tattoos, depending on all the tattoo itself. If I need more needles to it, and I'll get a bigger one, 7, 9, you know. Round liner, this is a 3 round liner. For my shading, this is a 9. It's a 9 round shader. I opened it right now, but you should always keep them closed and sterile and away from anything else. You can read it in the back, it says 9 round shader RS. Also with the tip, this is a 9 or DT9, DRT9, should say. Just pop it open, screw it in. These little holster things, they come in your tattoo kit and they're very important. Don't lose them, since it's what holds your needle together. Be very careful and gentle whenever you stick your needle in, because the slightest problem with the needle, like it bending or getting dull, that's gonna affect the outcome of the tattoo. So be very careful whenever you're putting it in. Let it just slide through. And the nickel result also applies to the shader. You don't want it too far out. You know, it's gonna hurt somebody if you're stabbing them too deep. So say like as thin as a piece of paper, no thinner than that. Smooth. So that's as far as it should be. As far as a nickel, thick as a nickel. My shader, I like to keep it a little heavier. Need to tune this up a little bit. It's too much. That's perfect right here. Just tighten it up. Make sure everything is tight. You don't want parts falling off while you're tattooing or touching the body. That's why I like to keep the bag over the top as well, so just in case a part does fall off, because it tends to happen, the vibrations, they affect the whole machine itself. So it tends to happen, like these little bolts on top, they will fall out. They'll just spin off. Little parts like that spin. Just be very careful. You don't want it touching the customer. The tattoo ink I usually just use black and white. It's my favorite. I use Kurosami, Japanese outlining ink, and shading ink. Shading is completely different from what you expect it to be with pencil. There's different types of ink. This is soft gray wash shading ink, and this is just shading ink, the normal. And you can also dilute inks with like a special type of liquid, but that's far more advanced than for beginners. So once you're figured out your tattoo inks and what you actually prefer using, that's when you can start diluting inks and making them lighter, making them darker. But that takes time. You have to have patience for that. Get used to tattooing. I'd say for your starting tattoo, you should do at least 100 free tattoos. And before that, you need to become an apprentice for a real tattoo artist at a shop that owns a shop. They are your safest bet to understanding and mastering the art of tattoo. It's a passion. It's something that comes from the heart and soul. Like art itself, art is very passionate. It has so many meanings to it. Myself, I started tattooing when I was 12, got my first tattoo when I was 11. My mom whooped me. I promise you that. But I started with my first tattoo. It was a homemade tattoo machine. These are professionally made tattoo machines. I had a remote control motor. I had it wild. I'm glad that we can actually purchase these professional machines. Otherwise, we'd still be struggling out here. But I started out tattooing myself. These tattoo practice skins come with their kit. I suggest you use them. If you don't have one, use fruits. Use a banana. Use a orange. Use a melon, a grapefruit. Use and master it. Get used to your machine. It practice makes perfect. It is the only option you have for a starter, for beginning. That's all you have as an option. Just practicing. Once you've mastered this, put it on your arm, Lay it down on your arm flat. Tattoo your arm. If you go too deep, it's gonna obviously stick you. It's gonna hurt. You can't go thicker than this. And this is not even thick at all. This is thin. So be careful. Use my skill I just taught you with the needle. What else should I say? I don't know. I think that's about it right now. Just practice, practice, practice. Boring old practice. That's all you have right now. That's the only option you have. But I'm gonna tattoo myself quick. We'll tattoo the skin since I haven't used it yet. See how it goes. Tiger is white. Yellow, right? Brown. Let me use yellow. Whenever you use tattoo ink, make sure to shake it up good. So as you can see here, I'm gonna tattoo it. Hold it onto it. Well, I can't really hold onto it, but should be good. I'm using my shader. I'm gonna take 2 dips into my tattoo ink. That's all you need, and just start tattooing. Whenever you're shading, it's best to go in little circles than to actually go up and down. It's recommended to go in circles, tiny circles. You can see I'm not going through it at all, and I'm actually leaving some of it. But make sure you get used to it. You actually practice on yourself before you practice on somebody else. If they let you stick this thing on their neck, stick this thing on their body, if they trust you that much, then you have a great friend. And like I said, after you're done with this, you think you have a good handling on your machine, then I suggest just doing some free tattoos. Don't charge it. It's not about the money. It's about the actual passion. I started tattooing. I was giving out free tattoos to everybody I knew. Some of them were messed up, some of them came out good. And later on in life, I actually ended up covering some of those tattoos up with better tattoos, you know? I got a good practice on it. I got a good grip on it, I should say. But practice makes perfect. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, leave comments, like my video, share it. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.